What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris, and today we're going to talk about why Generation Zero needs to really nail its next big update. Why this next update needs to be virtually bug-free. It's not a super deep subject, really, but the facts are that Generation Zero is facing a bit of a downward hill, and this next update will be a huge opportunity to turn things around. If you enjoyed the video or agree with what I'm saying here, please leave a like on the video to show your support. So first up, you folks know me. Let's start with some good here, and that is that I think this update will be one of the most stable updates we've seen in a long time. This is purely due to the lingo in the dev letter, but essentially this extra time taken for this update sounds like it's been due to extra quality assurance time, as well as because of bugs that have been found so far, kind of slowing down the process. Now, it's not great that the process is slowed, but the fact that these bugs are being identified and worked on before the update lands has my hopes up, dudes. If this time is taken with care and is thorough with full-on assistance from QA, then we might see this update come out spotless, which I think would be the best thing for Generation Zero at this point in time. But the essential bit is why we need a bug-free update. And first up, I'd like to look over at the Steam charts to show where the player base is kinda at right now. So, since December, where we saw a really awesome peak of almost 5,000 players, we've sunk down to just near 2,000, and our average player base has been essentially cut in half. Now, this is from a two-pronged failure. One being the changes to crafting, which still has thousands of players reluctant to continue playing due to a key aspect of the game becoming too grindy and unrewarding. And secondly, due to the deletion of Tylovden bases, which ruined thousands of players' main bases, costing them resources, time, and just tacking even more to the grindfest. Sadly, there doesn't seem too much that the team can do for the loss of Tylovden for players, but we can still see crafting turned back around. The impact of the crafting changes has been going on for far too long, and I really hope that part of this update will address this and make crafting fun again for all of us. But let's turn this conversation back around, because sure, we can sit and be bummed out about the changes and the loss of players and stuff, but on the other hand, everything can be solved, and these players can always come back when the game is in better condition for them. So, first up for Tylovden. And this will take a bit of a larger effort, but I think it would be ultimately really good for all of us, even the players who still have bases intact. And that, firstly, is to introduce a free, pre-built base on a small island. This pre-built base could come with max amenities and would be the same for all players, but would be a free base for longtime players, and if someone had lost Tylovden, they would then have a fresh new base to come back to without having to build or gather resources for it. And secondly, for fixing up Tylovden is to introduce resource generation, the ability to farm resources passively. This could show up in a bunch of ways, from resistance fighters to go out gathering items, to maybe machine companions that wouldn't exactly be going out with us to fight, but would instead be going out to gather resources for us to use. Passive resource generation would be enticing to get back to if you lost a ton of supplies in Tylovden, and again, would benefit the whole player base at the same time. Now, neither of these are easy tasks, of course, and this would also be like the third iteration of an introduction to base building, but I think overall it would do a ton of good for the player base, and in the long run would be great for new players to get into the game even just a little bit faster. And for fixing crafting, it's a much more simple task. Just return the amounts to their original ratio, or at least close to it. If you want to balance crafting a bit more, that's cool, but nerfing it to death sucked and needs to be undone. As I said, this video isn't meant to be deep, but hopefully the message will be clear that crafting needs to be fixed before we move forwards, and it can't be ignored here. It's already cost thousands of players, so why keep these changes in place? So, There we go. Maybe it's a bit of a ranty one, but hopefully this will still be heard out. Either way, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video. Again, any support is greatly appreciated, my dudes. But either way, I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.